Hey everybody, Mr. Riedl here. In this video I wanted to show you how I use correction forms in my classroom. A corrections form is what I have created in order to help my students learn from their mistakes and also earn points back. The corrections form is for students who got a grade on an assignment that they don't particularly like, and so any student can fill out one of these for any assignment that they had in class, and they can earn half the points back that they missed. But at the same time they learn from their mistakes, so they don't have to retake the entire test or redo the entire assignment. They only focus on what they did wrong. So that saves time for me because I don't have to give any test retakes. So all they have to do is focus on the problems that they missed, and then that saves a lot of time. So this is how it works in my class. So the student comes over here and they grab a correction form because they got a grade that they didn't like, and they take it over to their table, or they could take it home, and the first thing that the student needs is to make sure that they have their assignment with the grade that they want to improve upon. And I don't care what grade that they got. If they just missed 1 point, then they can do a corrections form. If they missed all of the points, then they can do a corrections form. So it does not matter how many points they missed. Any student can learn from their mistakes if they want to earn points back. Because the important thing here is that they learn from their mistakes and not necessarily just earning points back. So this student missed 4 points on their quiz, and so what he wants to do is he wants to earn 2 points back because half of 4 is 2. So he wants to earn 2 points back so that his grade goes up a little bit. So he needs to just identify the mistakes that he made. And I'm going to use this one as an example, number 14. So what the student does is he gets his corrections form side by side right next to his quiz, and he needs to write down what the question number is. So the question number is 14, so he writes 14 here. And then the next column it says, why did I get this problem wrong? So there could be a variety of different reasons for why, but I want the students to be thinking, why is it that they got this problem wrong? So try and think back to what they were thinking about. And if they don't know what they did wrong, then maybe they could write that. I don't know what I did wrong. But for this student, let's say he was thinking back over it and he realized, oh, I just added 1 extra 0. So he would write this down. I wrote too many zeros in my answer, period. Okay, so that is his reason for why did he get this problem wrong. And then what he does is he needs to explain what the correct answer is. So he could either explain using math and show his steps, or he could explain using words. And it's a little different for different subjects other than math. So for this one, the example is math, but the example for science might be, just explaining what he learned. So anyway, for this example for math, he now needs to show how to solve this problem correctly in this box. So he would rewrite the problem, 70 times 300 equals what? And so he needs to write the steps to solve it. So the way that I would show my work, if I was showing him how to do this, I would say, okay, well, 7 times 3. So you write 7 times 3 equals 21, like that. And then if what I taught them is the trick in the lesson is to, if there are multiples of 10 and then there's zeros that come after it, you just count the number of zeros, 1, 2, 3. So then there's 3 zeros that come after 7 and 3, and so you add those zeros on. So 1, 2, 3 zeros, 0, 0, 0. So 7 times 3 is 21,000. Add the comma, and then that would be enough work so that I see that he can connect what he did wrong over here with adding too many zeros to seeing that he actually knows now that it should have been just 3 zeros. So then he writes the answer up here, 21,000, and then that's all he needs to do. So every problem's a little different. Some require a lot more work than others. Some require something very simple. So it's really based on my judgment for whether or not I feel like they deserve to earn the points back or not. So in this column, Mr. Riedl checks it. They give it back to me once they finish all of the problems that they missed, and I look it over, make sure that they show their work, and then I grade it later, and I check it to make sure that it is correct. So I would with my pen, I would add something like, yes, +1, and because they earned that point back. But then what I would do is, if he did all 4 questions that he got wrong and he completed it all correctly, then I would give +1, +1, +1, and then, so the way that I calculate is so these are all the point values that they solved correctly over here, and so I would write +4 at the top, and then because they only get to earn half their points back, I would divide that by 2, and then it would equal +2 are the points that they earned back, and then add that to the 10 from their original score, and then that equals 12 out of 14. So then I double circle it to show that that's an updated grade. But that's what I do after I get it from the student. What all the student needs to do is they need to fill out the corrections form, and then they need to staple it to their original assignment. So they staple it and then they hand it directly to me. It says, hand it to Mr. Riedl directly. The reason that I have them hand it to me directly is so that I can make sure that they did enough work. Oftentimes what students do is they just write the answer down and that's it. I don't accept it if they just write the answer down. They need to show me some work, some evidence that they actually learned something from their mistakes. So often I would hand it back to them and say, nope, you need to show your work. And then when they hand it to me directly again, then I would say, okay, good job, and then I will grade it and put this stuff at the top. So that's pretty much it. And then after I regrade it, I update the grade book with this new score, and then I hand it back to them in their graded work packets. Sometimes I get questions from students about whether or not they can take it home, and I always answer them, yes, take it home, you can work with your parents on it, or a brother, sister, or aunt, or uncle, or grandma, or grandpa, or anybody that can help you figure out what you did wrong. If you can't figure out your own mistakes, then use the resources around you in order to figure out how you can improve and how you can learn from your mistakes. I offer time during recess if the students want to come in, and I can help them with it and try and figure out what they did wrong with their problems. The main purpose is learning from their mistakes, and I think that's the most important thing. And if they get a few points back to improve their score at the same time, then, that's a win-win. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions about my corrections form, you can feel free to ask me a question, leave it in the comments below. I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the form if you want to use this in your classroom. Feel free to just make a copy and edit it with your name on it instead of mine. And this has been really helpful for me over the years, not just because of the fact that they can earn points back and learn from their mistakes, but also because when they ask for help, then I can actually work with them one-on-one, and when I work with them one-on-one, it's like we're getting right to the root of the problem, and I learn so much more about my students when I do this with them. I also learn a lot from students that are just trying to get a quick, easy, extra grade, is they don't do a whole lot of work on there. So I know to push them a little bit harder because I know that they're just trying to bump up their grade and they don't really care about learning. So I make them work for it, and I make them show their work and earn it. I also learn a lot about students who are really high achievers, and they will do every little tiny bit that they can to make their grade better. And I can also find those students who need a little extra push, and I can sit with them and work on this with them. So it's great for any type of student, and not just the ones that are struggling. So, all right, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this can be useful to you too, as much as it's been useful to me. Have a great day. Talk to you guys later.